When you hear about lighting, when you think about lighting a shot in a cinematic fashion, does the thought of that make you kind of shrivel up, get scared, and want to sell your camera? Well, fortunately, you're not alone, and hopefully in the following period of time, I'm going to be able to at least illuminate, no pun intended, a little bit about the process and make you a little bit more comfortable in using cinematic lighting techniques to make your videos better. All it really means is that you're using light in an intentional way to make a shot have a specific feeling or emotion or a vibe, however you want to call it. What really defines cinematic lighting even deeper than that is the really careful planning and execution of a lighting scheme to make these changes and make these feelings apparent. The most basic way to achieve cinematic lighting, if you're not using natural lighting outdoors, is what's known as a 3-point lighting setup. I've made a modified 3-point lighting setup in this video just because at the end of the day, the most important part about lighting is it has to be how you want it to look. It's art. Nobody can really tell you what to do. It's entirely your say at the end of the day. But as they say, you have to walk before you can run, and we're going to go over what constitutes a 3-point lighting setup for you right now. The first light that you're going to have in a 3-point lighting setup is known as your key light. Now, your key light is your most important. It's your largest light. It illuminates your subject's face. You're going to usually opt to put it at either 45 degrees, some varying degree that isn't directly straight on at somebody, so it doesn't look like you're taking a video of them dying in a hospital bed. 99% of the time, you're going to be working with a light that is slightly off center of your subject, because what that's going to do is create shadows that cast off of your subject's face. So the next step of a 3-point lighting setup is going to be your fill light. And now what a fill light does is it's usually placed directly opposite to your key light. And again, as you can probably imagine, it's going to fill in the light cast by your key light. The reason you might want to do this is, say there's way too much shadow on one side of your subject's face, that you're losing detail and you're losing facial features in the shadows. That's going to help even it out a little bit and give you a more properly exposed image, and also allow you to change up how you want the look of the shot to be. Say you have a cooler light like I do as your key light, and you want to have something a little warmer like I currently do, filling in that shadow on the face. It gives a little bit of a noticeable fall off, adds a little bit of extra color to it. You can play around with RGB lights, get crazy with it, but usually a fill light is just used to balance out your key light. So the third point of light in a 3-point lighting setup is what's known as your backlight. And the backlight is what's going to be illuminating the back of your subject. It can otherwise be known as something like a hair light, which is a more specific term, but in my eyes, they're interchangeable. All of the real filmmakers in the comments, please tear me apart for that. What a backlight's going to do is it's going to illuminate the back of your subject. It's going to pull them from the foreground of your shot to give your shots more depth, to make it seem like they're not directly pinned up against the wall, so that you have separation between your background and your subject. It's really going to pull the attention towards your subject and away from any of the other distracting elements in your shot. Hi, this is totally Nick from the same exact time that he shot all that other stuff, totally doing his outro as planned. But thank you for bearing with me up to this point. I hope I could have given you a little bit of insight on some of the little aspects towards lighting that you might not know, or maybe solidified some stuff that you did already know, but either way, there's a lot more to come. We want to dive a little bit deeper into some of the more interesting aspects of lighting. Playing around and breaking those rules, like I said before, is always really fun, so look out for that. But other than that, thank you so much. Look to see you in the next one.